Speaking of the male sex drive,
Oh, yeah.
there's been some progress on the science front to do with male contraception.
Yep, it's a breakthrough. It's a non-hormonal, male contraceptive. It looks like we're heading there because obviously, this has just so far been tested on mice. So good, because there are too many mice. They breed like rabbits. We should look into doing it on rabbits as well. So they've managed to stop the development of the sperm, one of the stages of the meiosis, and it's great. It's non-hormonal. Previously, the hormonal attempts at male contraceptives didn't get too far because they stopped the production of sperm, but they left the men being moody. So let me just set myself up for a joke here. There's a drug that can mean you don't make sperm and you're moody, and yet TERFs think men can't be women. There you go. But
I
I
mean, it's beautiful. I was going to ask you why non-hormonal, because that annoys me. It annoys me that we're looking for non-hormonal solutions for men because
why?
they don't like to feel a little bloated. But we're sitting over here patching ourselves up and sticking things up our wahoo and all the rest of it for the sake
I
of.
well, look, I don't know. I think sometimes this is why I wanted this as a topic. There are so many tropes. As soon as you have those two words together, male contraceptives, there'll be some tropes that get thrown at it that aren't well thought out, right? I guarantee straight there'll be some people watching this will be like, "Ha, would you trust a man to take that?" That's the normal go-to in all newspaper coverage. Would you trust a man to take it? I mean, yeah. If you're literally asking the question, not rhetorically, of course you would, because you trust men to do surgery on you. If you drive a car, I'm presuming one of the designers might have been a man. So of course you do. What a dumb question. People are thoroughly getting this the wrong way around, right? Whenever there is a successful male contraceptive, and the reason it's taken longer to do the man version rather than the woman version is twofold. The really obvious one is it is easier to stop one egg than stop millions of sperm. If you've got just numbers wise, you know which one you're going to look at first. And because of errors made by doing the hormonal version first, I think if there would have been a hormonal male contraceptive that was invented first, the errors would have happened there, and they wouldn't be looking at a hormonal one for women. Because
Well,
we learn as a
yeah.
society.
But I think that it wasn't. I don't think that people went, let's do contraception for women because she has one egg versus millions. They went, that's where the baby is. So let's
Yeah,
stop baby
that's
at
kind of what I
source.
mean. Yeah,
But
yeah.
if it had been a million eggs and one sperm being released, we still would have started with the women.
Maybe I don't. Well, I think we did whichever one was kind of easier based on the science at the time. Like, we understand a bit of hormones. This is the one that we know we can stop. Because
I
in the
love.
past, the hormonal ones only reduced sperm count. That's the problem,
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's
You
true.
can get it under a certain level, but you still risk more of a pregnancy
I mean,
if you
to
have
be
like a handful
fair,
of sperm.
if men were more complex and didn't just have the one hormone that did everything, it would probably be
Yeah,
easier. I mean, you've got testosterone for making your sperm, but testosterone for just keeping you basically alive, and so, or keeping you male, let's say,
yeah,
and you can't, that's a crossing of streams, literally.
yes. Never cross the streams. Yeah.
Never. I mean, you use one tube for everything. I mean, as a woman, I'm like, ugh, gross, but
But so, like, I mean,
at least
it's
wash it out in between uses. But no, okay.
It does get washed out, but not in a way that you like. Yeah, I mean, look, it's such a go-to of like, "Oh, why do they do that first?" 'Cause the level of competency that science had, it was easier to try and understand the hormones of women. At the same time as people say medicine's been terribly biased, they only ever do research on men. All of the studies have been looking at men because of the complexity of the female cycle, which they wanted to try and avoid, which is why there's not been enough research. The one area where there's been some research, no, we have to complain about that as well. This is what bothers me. We're getting it thoroughly the wrong way. We're pointing 180 degrees away from where it is. It's not that somehow if you invent a male contraceptive, men won't take it. By God, have you any idea how much men will take it? Are you telling
Yeah.
so if there's a pill that means you can not wear condoms and not have kids, boom, it's going to be all over it.
I'm sorry, but then why are they the ones also against having a vasectomy? Because you've got vasectomy as an option. There are men who think I never want kids, vasectomy, but they don't want to do it.
Yeah, but this way you can pretend. I mean, look, if you could sneak off, well, also, yeah, it is different. It feels less emasculating to take a pill than to have a piece of surgery that could go wrong. And I know it's not likely to go wrong, but by God, it's a risk, right? But honestly, I think the bigger risk when we finally invent a pill-based or a gel-based, I suppose, male contraceptive, it won't be that men don't take it. It's that way too many of them will. There'll be relationships where we'll be like, yeah, we've been trying for kids for like 7 years, and somehow it's not happening because there's not that moment where the woman could stop taking her pill version and a baby happens. This guy's going to be sneaking off and having tons of pills. The birth rate will drop even further when the male contraceptive pill happens. And no one seems to be realizing that's coming down the tracks, as if men will somehow not be paying enough attention to remember to take a pill. they're going to be taking it well. There'll be some men going through IVF because they are not willing to admit that they don't want to have kids. The other half, yeah, well,
Oh
we're
my
going for
God. That's so
rounds.
true. Do you know, that reminds me of an old Joan River joke, and she told it in that kind of way too soon kind of way, but in a way that only Joan Rivers could ever do it. She said, "You know that there are women who lost their husbands in 9/11 that are pretending to be upset." You know, that's just kind of like, "Oh no,
Yeah.
am I a rich widow? Oh no." But anyway,